Well, hello there, everybody, and we are back with the Bishop for a segment of Renewing the Mind and the Body for Healthy Living. Now, typically, I do not come on at this time of the day. It's just a few minutes, I believe, until midnight. So, a few minutes until Thanksgiving Day. So, I am on because I've had several thoughts running through my mind for a while, and I just wanted to share and speak and hopefully be of encouragement. These broadcasts are always to encourage you, to empower you, to educate you, to motivate you, to inspire you, to uplift you, to move towards your destiny, operating in the purpose for which you've been created, using the gifts that are within you. So I came on to talk about mixed matched images and working in the insurance industry. And one of the things that I do is that's one of the aspects or one of the jobs that I work is I have to look at medical records. And so I was looking at several records and I see a lot of different things from people who have been injured in auto accidents. And so sometimes we get MRI records. Hey, David. Hey, Ma. Thank you for tuning in. I don't got my glasses or my contacts on, so I'm like straining to see. But thank y'all for speaking. Hey, and speak or say something to me in the comment section as you come into the room. I know who's watching along with me. But one of the things that I do is I look at these MRIs and we look at what they call SOAP notes and all of those things. And with that, what's up, Tim? What's going on, man? One of the things that I started to think about here is how these MRIs and CAT scans in particular, they are designed to show what's happening on the inside of a body. And it is very, I think, innovative. It's very technological. It's needed. It's necessary because on the outside, a person or a physical body can have a totally different appearance and can appear to be well or healthy or whole, while the MRI or the CAT scan shows a totally different story. A totally different story. And so that causes mixed matched images. So you have the MRI that's saying one thing, but you have the outside of the body that's saying another. And one of those, only one of them is telling the truth. Only one of them is telling the truth. And so as I was thinking about that, I wanted to share and encourage those who follow me, those who are connected to this page, this profile here, because it's not a public profile. This is my personal one. So if I let y'all in on my personal profile, that must mean that I really like y'all. Okay, y'all got a spot that some people don't have. But I wanted to encourage everyone to make sure that your inside images are matching the outside. You know, on the outside, everything seems to be well, everything seems to be whole, everything seems to be happy, everything seems to be hunky-dory, everything seems to be progressive, everything seems to be moving in the direction that you want it to be on the outside. But the inside is telling the real story. It's telling the whole story. And one of the things that I learned, and we all, I believe, have had experience with, are pretenders. And Tim is saying it's so true. They found cancer cells in my esophagus. We're praying for you, Tim. Hey, Raven, thank you for tuning in. One of the things that we have had experience with are pretenders. And so those are people who pretend, you know, they portray something that actually isn't real. It's not reality. It's not the truth. It is a truth, but it's not the truth. And so I think it's very important for us to live. Hey, Vicky, thank you for tuning in. It's important for us to live in the truth. And the truth is what the MRI depicts. That's what the truth is. See, it's the MRI that's telling the truth, that's telling the whole story. But the outside is telling something different. And I know a lot of times, they say, well, you don't need to show all of what you're going through and tell all of what you're going through. And that's perfectly fine, to each his own. But what my encouragement to you my encouragement to you all is to deal with your stuff. That's how you live in the truth, because the truth is on the inside, you're bitter. Truth on the inside, you're confused. Truth on the inside is you're angry. Truth on the inside is that you're depressed. Truth on the inside is that you're sad. Truth on the inside is that you're confused. Truth on the inside is you're worried. Truth on the inside is you're lonely. That's truth. That's the truth. And the only way that you'll be able to cause the images to match, hear me what I'm saying, is by dealing with your stuff. What is really causing your anxiety? What is causing your anger? What is causing your hurt? What is the source of your pain? You really have to deal with that in order to cause the images on the inside and the outside to match up. Because otherwise, what you're going to continue to do is have mixed matched images. The inside's going to tell one story and the outside's going to tell something different. And what's going to happen is you're going to continue going through your life, your daily living, and years will pass by. And you know who's going to be extremely upset at you? SELF, self, you. That's who's going to be extremely upset with you, because you will have allowed all of this time to pass by and you have not dealt with the truth, which is what's causing your all of these, whatever it is that you feel that's on the inside. And if you have joy on the inside, you have peace, you have happiness on the inside, you have that. That's truth. I mean, and then that, I believe that should reflect, that should be revealed, because truth is what's on the inside will come out. It's principle. What goes in will come out in one way or another. And so one of the things that I've have experienced are pretenders. And, I just realized that after all of these years of living and getting ready to cross over into the 40th chapter, that, listen, don't waste no more time pretending. Listen, and I know we all did it, especially when I was younger, as young, fast, and foolish, pretended to be something, pretended to have something that I did not have. It was a mixed match image. I was pretending to be someone on the outside when on the inside, I was somebody completely different. This one's playing. Hey, Alicia, thank you for tuning in. And what I want to encourage you to do, because listen, we may have crossed over into the midnight hour, so we're now over here in Thanksgiving. We getting ready to be around family, and we getting ready to be around friends. Maybe, I mean, COVID is out there, so some people may not be traveling. So, and I appreciate that, respect to everybody. And even for those that do travel, just be very careful and conscientious. COVID is still out there, very real. People still dying, people still contracting it. And one thing that I remember for me is there was an experience that I had where I was in the room with a lot of people, but I was all by myself at the very same time. But on the outside, nobody was able to detect or discern or to tell that on the inside I was all alone and feeling loneliness and going through something different than what I was portraying on the outside. So I'm telling you something that I know. And so I think, and I want to again encourage you, life is real, experiences are real, and we can't control some of the things that come to us. We cannot. The only thing that we can do when things come to us that we did not seek out is how we respond to them. And we sometimes have to process through these things. Tim says, but sometimes people are truly blessed and have God on the inside, but act like they don't on the outside, which is very true. And if they're acting like they don't have God on the inside, if they do have him on the inside, but they're not acting like it, it could be because of their maturation process. But then I would question really whether or not he is on the inside, because if he's on the inside now, I'm speaking from my personal experience, that there's a change that occurs, and I shared that maybe a few days ago. When I said that when he's really on the inside and he's working on the inside, it starts to show up on the outside. It does, and it takes time. It takes time, and nobody's process is the same. But here's the key: you have to work on you. You have to deal with your stuff. And this is an encouragement for those people who truly are on the inside, deep down, you depressed. I mean, like for real, deep down, you in fear. Deep down, you're in loneliness. Deep down, you're in hurt. And like you've been holding on to this stuff for a long time and you ain't dealt with it and you ain't shared with nobody. And partially, I get why sometimes we don't share things with people, even with, family members and close friends and folks in the church, because sometimes you can't trust them people. You can't trust everybody with the what I would call the pearls of your heart, with the real deal, with the sensitive stuff. You can't trust everybody with that. But here's one of the things that I've learned, and I'm going to share this, and you all have heard me talk about this before. There are professional counselors that are available, Christian counselors that are available to help you process through your stuff, to help you to deal with your stuff. And they can help you sort out your stuff so you can actually figure out what it is that is causing you this depression, this fear, this anxiety, this frustration, this anger. What is causing that? Because if you never deal with the real deal, hear me, y'all. I'm talking about stuff that, again, been held up, locked up, bottled up for years. And this is one of the things that I learned. When you start to deal with your stuff, hear me now, hear me. When you start to deal with your stuff, sometimes you got to break away from the things and the people that's causing your hurt and pain and frustration and anger and depression and all of that bitterness. You have to break away from those people and those things, because if you don't, as you're dealing with your stuff, when you interact with those people and those things, when you get around those things, you're going to be sucked right back down to the place where you were before you started to process and deal with your stuff. And it's actually called healing. Healing, y'all. Listen, people hurt us. Situations hurt us. Experiences, they hurt us. And most oftentimes, we don't take time to process through the hurt. I'm talking to somebody today. I know I am. This thing would not leave me alone. I got to get up in just a few hours. My wife and I, pray for us. My wife and I and my son, we're traveling to be with family. But this thing just would not leave me alone. It just weighed heavy on me until I was able to sit down and be able to get this out and share this with whosoever will. Those of you that are watching this right now, I appreciate it. And I know there are going to be those of you that will watch this at a later time. People can hurt us, things can hurt us, situations can hurt us, and most oftentimes we hold on to that hurt for a long time because we be scared to talk about it, we be scared to share it with other people because we don't know what the outcome is going to be. But let me tell you something. If you do not process through that, it's going to continue to eat away at you. It's going to continue to nip at you. It's going to continue to govern your life. It's going to govern your entire life, which means every decision that you make, you're not going to make no decision unless fear is attached to it. You won't make a decision unless anger is attached to it. You won't make a decision unless depression is attached to it. So it's very important. Listen, y'all, I'm telling you what I know. When you deal with your stuff and you become healthy in your mind, you become healthy in your emotions, your life is so much more fulfilling. It's so much more gratifying. There's so much more satisfaction. There's so much more of a drive to live and to do and to go and experience the greatness of this world. Hear me what I'm saying. And the greatness of other people. And so it's important for you to deal with your stuff. I don't know who that's for, but you want your inside to match your outside. Don't let your outside be all life is a bed of roses and beautiful and everything is hunky-dory, but on the inside you just is empty and hollow and crying. Listen, I'm talking to somebody tonight. I know I am. Crying, they say your pillow is wet with tears because something on the inside is broken. Something on the inside is missing. Something on the inside is lacking. Hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me. Thank you, Tim. Hear me what I'm saying. Deal with your stuff. Get help to deal with your stuff. This is one of the reasons why people commit suicide, they commit homicide, and we're going into the holiday season. And this, like, those rates go up around Thanksgiving and Christmas time because the source of their pain, the source of their confusion and their weariness and their worry, it's amplified during this season. Hear me, it's turned up during this season. And so I want to encourage you. Thank you, Alicia. I want to encourage you to deal with your stuff because we don't want to see your name in the papers. We don't want to read your obituary. Hear me. We don't want to read the obituary of nobody connected to you because of something that you may have done. You gotta deal with your stuff, as difficult as it may be. And I don't care, you may be holding on to it for years. Start the process, because that's going to allow you to become healed and made whole. When all of those people came in contact with Jesus, he didn't just heal them. The text says he made them whole. And what that means is that their life after their encounter with Christ was as if nothing ever happened to them. That's what that means. That's what that means. And people are able to help you to heal and get to that place as if it never happened to you. I don't care if it was molestation, if it was rape, if it was abuse, verbal, physical, mental, emotional. I don't care if it was robbery. I don't care what it was. Whatever incited what you feel on the inside that may be negative or dark. I don't care what it is. You are able to heal from it. You are able to overcome it. And again, live the life that you want to live. And that only starts when you start to deal with your stuff. And sometimes you need encouragement. Sometimes you need help. You need somebody else with strength to help you to start that process. And again, that's what therapists are there for. They're Christian counselors. They're mental, emotional therapists that are there. They're waiting to help you. Hear me. They're waiting to help you. And I guarantee you, and listen, and you may not even need a counselor. You may already have a close confidant. You may have someone that you trust, that you can share these things with, and they can give you, watch what I'm about to say, they can give you sound wisdom. They can give you sound advice and things that can help you actually heal and progress. Okay? And so that calls, and that calls for trust. It calls for trust. And so, let's see, Tim says, this season is always hard for me. A lot of people don't know my story, but I got out this time 3 years ago, and I never knew how to re-put myself back in my family's life. Absolutely, man. But you started the process. You started the process somewhere, and it oftentimes just starts with a conversation. It just starts with a simple conversation. And when you become intentional about healing, because this is what I want to talk about, when I'm talking about dealing with your stuff, that means you're becoming intentional about taking control of your life and helping it to move in the direction that you want it to go. You're taking responsibility for your healing, for your restoration. You're taking responsibility and you're being intentional about that. You have to be intentional about it, because otherwise it's just going to continue to lie dormant, or it's going to continue to be fed by whatever, again, is causing that. So when you become intentional about it, you progress forward and you move in the direction that you need to move. And so I feel like I've said what I needed to say as it relates to that. Let your inside match your outside. Okay, and let your outside match your inside. Don't have mixed matched images. People be stunting for the gram and for the book, aka Instagram and for Facebook. We put up with images and videos we want people to see, right, on Instagram and on Facebook. But then in reality, in the real world, in the real three-dimensional world, it's something that's completely different. It's a different story. It's a completely different story. And so you have to make sure, again, that your inside matches the outside. And the way that happens is by dealing with your stuff. I hope that this helps you. I hope this encourages you. I've done it. Listen, you listening and looking at somebody that has dealt with his stuff and is still dealing with his stuff. You want to know why? Because I want to live the best life that I can. I want to live a life completely filled with joy and happiness and prosperity and peace. Most importantly, peace. I love peace, y'all. There's an old song that says, "This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away." It's true. I got Jesus joy. I got that joy. Okay, all right. I'm starting to go off somewhere. Um, it's Thanksgiving, y'all. The word of the Lord tells us, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. So whatever is going on right now, just lift your hands and say thank you. Erna French has a song out that just says thank you. Listen, for making a way, thank you. For living, thank you. We have endured and been blessed and brought through, carried through this entire year, 2020. Y'all, that ain't nothing but the goodness and the grace of God. That ain't nothing but the hand of God. In the middle of all that has occurred this year, the pandemics, the social injustice, the economic crisis, and we are still here. It is nothing but the hand of God that has done that. And for that alone, we owe him thanks. Things could be a lot worse. Things could be much different. But I heard my pastor say, I thank God for how it is just like it is right now. And one of the things that I learned is that when we start to give gratitude and express thanksgiving, we realize how blessed we really are and that we actually have more blessings than we do problems. That's good to me. David says, you full of that Jesus juice. Happy Thanksgiving, Alicia. Happy Thanksgiving, Ma. It's the total truth. It's the total truth, man. And so I keep trying to get to that filling station so I can stay filled, so I can stay full of the Jesus joy so that my inside matches my outside. Because there are some days where it'll be like, okay, got to push through, got to press through, got to deal with my stuff again so that I'm not being fake and I'm not being phony. I ain't being no pretender. Hear me now. I ain't being no pretender. Jesus called them religious leaders, he called them hypocrites because they was looking like one thing on the outside. They was saying one thing on the outside. They was doing one thing on the outside, but behind closed doors, it was a completely different story. Woo! I see you, Vicky. I see you. And so it is important for us to give thanks. Just start saying thank you. Come on, take a few seconds. What is it you're thankful for? Today is it's Thursday, so we can go ahead and we can put in the comment section the things that you are thankful for. Whatever it is that you're thankful for, put it in the comment section. When I would do my broadcast on Thursdays, I say it's time for our Thankful Thursday testimonies. Whatever it is that you are thankful for, put it in the comment section. Whatever it is, I don't care if it's life, if it's health, if it's strength, if it's food, clothing, shelter, you got money, whatever it is that you're thankful for. You have your eyesight. I heard the older saints say that I got the activity of my limbs, which means, I don't got to use no walker, no cane, not knocking anybody that does. But I'm thankful and grateful for it. I see it coming in. Tim says my kids and my wife. I'm thankful that I've got a roof over my head. I'm thankful that I got a God that loves me. I'm thankful that I have a family that loves me. Thankful, I'm with you, Tim. Thankful for my wife and for my son, Thankful that we have been blessed to make it all the way through this year, which has been very rough and trying. David says, thankful for for UCC. Leisha says, Jesus touch and life. Absolutely. And so as we go through this holiday season of Thanksgiving, keep that at the forefront of your mind. The things that you're thankful for, and I got to deal with my stuff so I'm not mixed matched. Now, y'all know how it is. Now, it became a fad. When we were younger, my mom would have us pair up our socks after we did the laundry so that our socks weren't mixed matched. She don't want you don't go out this house misrepresenting me. Got on mixed match socks. Vicky says, my family and God and you. Thank you, Vicky. I'm thankful for you as well. So, be thankful and remember, you got to deal with your stuff. Deal with your stuff. Be intentional about your healing. Deal with your stuff. Whatever your stuff is, take time to deal with your stuff so that you can be a better you and you can have matching images. All right. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I am signing off by saying hello 2020. I'm still going up and so are you. And what's to come for you and for me It is better than what's been. Love on each other and love your neighbor as you love yourself. And if you ain't loving you, something's wrong. All right? We'll see y'all again real soon. Mad love.